Just checking to see if anybody's just on their phone. If they just dialed in from the phone, wanted to make sure you were included. Okay. Hi, Tom.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You
You recovering from all your camping and Fish Fest and all your
oh my gosh,
outings?
man. I was everywhere. But to answer your question, no, I have not fully recovered.
Yeah, I know. It's been a rough few weeks for us too. We've been running every weekend.
What while we're waiting for other people to join us, what are you guys thinking about the summer adventure at Pendleton?
You know, you're going to have to count pretty much all of our guys out. Well, not all of them, but most of our boys are going to Hume that week.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the week we go to Hume Lake. So all of our junior high and high schools will be gone. But maybe we can get some of the younger ones to go. Maybe some of the mountain lions.
Well,
Are you opening it up to the mountain lions?
we opened it up to mountain lions from the very beginning, so it was navigators,
Okay.
adventurers, and I was rising mountain lions.
Okay.
I don't know who came up with that term, but that was, I don't know, again, I'm not even totally sure I know exactly what it means, but whatever a rising mountain lion is, they were allowed to go as well.
Are you guys now done for the year? Or have you had your court of awards or whatever
Um,
you guys call
yeah, we had a don't well, all right, it's being recorded, but I'll say it anyways. We had a family camp, even though that's a no-no for trail life. And we had our court of honor there at that camp out. But we don't shut down for the summer, so we're going to keep it going. We our troop meetings are a little bit more limited, so we back off just a tad bit. But
it?
we still have a pretty full calendar going through the summer.
Well, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a few things going. We have some events scheduled, but and we have some tentative meetings. But usually, only a few people show up.
Are we expecting anyone else from your troop to come to tonight's meeting?
I don't believe so. Mark has a school board meeting tonight, and Adam is in New York. He's going to try to get in on it.
Okay. Well, hopefully it's more than just you and me. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So what else is going on? How's the health of your troop? Is it doing pretty well?
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. We had a lot of kids bridge, so we're actually middle heavy right now, which is kind of odd. We're big in the mountain lions and the navigators.
Okay.
We have 5 adventurers now, and we're kind of light in foxes and the hawks, which is kind of weird for us. But I guess we're getting older and we gotta recruit some more of the younger guys.
Right, right.
So that's kind of good. At least we can start to implement more of the boy-led program now that we actually have some navigators and some adventurers that are capable of leading.
Right. Yeah,
So.
we all we ever had was navigators, and I threw them into the deep end from the beginning when we started last year. I said, "Okay, guys, we need a patrol leaders." So
Yeah.
I took over the role of first officer because we didn't have any adventurers. But yeah, it's surprising how much the boys are really capable of doing what we ask them to do. So, hey, Mark.
Hey, how you doing, Joshua?
Good. How are you?
I thought you had a school board meeting tonight.
What school board?
Yeah, exactly.
We're still aboard for a little while longer.
Is there a school board that's disbanding that I haven't heard about in the news?
No, it's our academy, our Hope Chapel Academy is we're merging with South Bay Faith Academy, so
Oh, okay.
it's our homeschool academy.
Well, we'll have to, if anybody shows up late to the meeting after we get started here, we'll have to let them know that they missed out on the $100 drawing that we had at the beginning of the meeting.
All right, who won that, by the way?
Oh, I did. Yeah, absolutely. I set up the meeting, I win the prize. That's just how it works.
Yeah, oh man. Yep. Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Josh says that his troop meets all summer. What do you think about that?
I'm hearing crickets. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Do you guys meet every week, or do you have every other week? Or?
No. Yeah, our troop meetings go down to about once a month, and then we'll have once a weekend, or for the Woodlands it'll be a weekend outdoor train, an outdoor hit the trail, and then our navigators, and we have one adventure now. Our navigators we run them completely separate. So we have hi, who just joined?
This is Nathan Hunter, new guy out of Riverside.
Oh, hey Nathan, how's it going? Nathan, you go by Nate, right?
Nate or Big Nate, yeah.
Okay. Nate, I'm assuming you called in on the phone. We have Tom Tremblay and Mark Shibata from 4673 Hermosa Beach, and you might as well get used to this now. There are two Troop 4673s, and you will get them confused from time to time.
All right, I'll try to keep
No,
that
he
in
won't.
mind.
Since we don't have anybody from the Huntington Beach troop here, we're the original troop, by the way.
There you go. There you go.
I'm not gonna ask how you got the numbers.
All right. Well,
Hi guys.
we've got Hermosa Beach on, and me, and then Nate. That's all that showed up. That's a little disappointing, but let's go ahead and get started.
Joshua.
Hey, yeah, this is Joshua.
Hi, Joshua.
Was that Nate asking if this is Josh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You didn't. I don't think. If you introduced yourself in the beginning, I didn't hear you. So.
Yeah, probably didn't. That's all good. Okay, Nate, we have Mike Hickenbotham getting on the call right now. Mike, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm just Nate Hunter.
Hello, Nate.
Nate is just a call in, so you won't see his name on the attendee view here.
Right. Okay. And Nate, you're the. I saw an email here from you recently, right?
I'm a new guy. I just got my membership a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
Still waiting for. Thank you.
Well,
Still waiting for orders.
So
okay.
yeah, I did ask John, and he's registered as a registered adult, no troop. So we call those rants. So you can rant away all you want.
I'm good at that.
You clearly have some kind of military background. What is that, Nate?
I was Marine Corps, 73 to 77.
Okay. I was Navy. Got commissioned in '77 and got out in 2001.
Yeah, well, I was getting out as you were going in, so I guess I'm a little bit older than you.
That's right.
Okay, gentlemen, let's get started. Jerry, looks like Jerry's joined us. Hi, Jerry. Say hi to everybody. I see his.
Jerry, I didn't hear you at least, but I could see you, but I didn't hear you.
I said hello from San Diego.
Oh, there he is.
Okay.
I had to turn on my audio.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, let's get started. Can I have a volunteer to offer us a word of prayer to dedicate our time to the Lord?
Sure. Since Jerry's doing the teaching today, I can certainly do the praying.
Awesome.
All right. Heavenly Father, thank you so very much, Father, for loving us so deeply and so freely, so graciously. And thank you, Father, for this way of loving us and giving us opportunities to serve one another. We ask, Father, that you be with us tonight to open our hearts to ways in which we can best serve both the young men and the older men in these troops, and not just the men, but all the adults, and to help them to be able to continue to bring your kingdom to fruition here on earth. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay, and we are Trail Life USA, so I do like to start us off with a quick patriotic observance. So I found this this poem here, and I thought it was pretty apropos given that tomorrow is Flag Day. So this is our beautiful flag, and it was author unknown. So our flag stands for freedom, and we are so very proud. When it waves in the breeze, it usually draws a crowd. Its colors are so beautiful, the red, white, and blue, and when you see them up close, they are so very true. So today we celebrate our flag, and this I want to say, wave your flag with honor on this very special day. Yeah. Okay, welcome again, everyone. Looks like Teresa is jumping on. Teresa, if you're dialing in, why don't you say hi to everyone? Teresa, we also, in addition to the list of names we have here, we do have Nate Hunter, who is the new rant that's volunteering for the area. So I think we're going to be discussing at some point in the near future where we're going to plug Nate. But let's get into the some introductions here. For those of you who don't know, the acting point man is John Hearing. John is it says acting there because John is actually the regional team lead, which basically means he's the regional point man, and he covers all of the western United States and Alaska and Hawaii and the whole 9 yards. So he's acting because we currently don't have a point man, and more on that later. But area advancement chair, we do want to announce that Mike Hickenbotham has agreed to take on the area advancement chair, which is basically the Freedom Award coordinator. Would that be a fair statement, Mike?
Well, that's how John has explained it to me. So as far as I know right now, that's the basic.
Okay, so as your adventurers are earning their Freedom Award, Mike is going to be your go-to contact to get the process started and get you guys going. So we are still looking for an area chaplain, and that's given the fact that we're a Christ-centered organization, that's a big one. So if you know of anyone who's available to help out with that, we're putting out some feelers. But if you're available or you know anybody who's available, have them get in touch with one of the area team. Teresa is our area chartering organization coach. Teresa, what does that mean? What are your job duties?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, good. Last time I had some technical difficulties. I'm operating under the assumption that my role is to help any new troops that are chartering to kind of navigate those waters. Anybody who's thinking about chartering or interested in chartering, just kind of help them through the process.
Great.
Okay. All right. And then it sounds like that's exactly what this position is, so I'm going to have to get some clarification from John after he jumps on. But there we do have this position of area membership chair. I think my understanding is that new troop organizers is supposed to be under your position, Teresa, and I think this membership chair is to just promote the general recruitment and membership for the various troops and to help out in that area. So again, that we do have that open if anybody is available. Same thing for the area unit service chair. The area unit service chair's job is to basically coordinate the efforts of the direct service advisors. Did I get that right, Mike? Is that is DSA, right? That is what the acronym stands for?
That's correct.
So of the DSAs, we do have Jim Martin, who I did see jump on. Jim Martin is our direct support advisor. See, it's a totally separate acronym, what it means. Direct, I don't know. DSA, just call it DSA and hope no one questions you on what the meaning of it is. So Jim Martin, if your troop is in the South Coast or Orange County and you're looking for some support or helping hand or some advice or just someone to listen to, Jim is the guy in your area. The Channel Islands District is Mike and myself. We're splitting up the 6 troops in that area and gonna be helping them out. So I don't think we have anybody from. Yeah, I don't think we have anybody on from the Channel Islands District, but that's who that is. We are still looking for a DSA for the San Joaquin and Beaches area, as well as the Inland Empire area. Again, this position is really just to be an ear. They're the first first call if a troop has some questions, or it's helping to get the troops into the flow of the point of contact. So we're looking for those positions. And then South Coast and Imperial Valley, we have Jerry Kwasik. Jerry, did I think I said that right? As Jerry Kwasik, is that?
That's correct.
Dude,
Thank you.
For some reason, I think I'm always butchering your last name, but
That's Polish, and Polish people are a minority group in California.
Okay, let me pull that up, and then we are looking for a training chairman. Training chairmans would be just helping to organize, either equip training, youth equip training, maybe the leadership, the trail ready conferences. Just being the one that kind of spearhead that effort. And then in case you didn't get enough of my name up at the top, I'm also down here at the bottom. I'm in charge of these roundtables, just kind of organizing them, making sure that they're available. And I am also the incessant know-it-all. So if anybody wants to debate the finer points of the Scout program, I'm happy to jump into that debate. So,
Joshua, this is Nate. Can I bust in for a second and ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
You guys sound like you're a brand new startup here. I mean, are these positions that were never filled, or they're just recently been vacated, or what's the deal with that?
So the area is in. Well, we had what has it been, about a year and a half. We have not had a point man. Our previous point man had to step aside for some employment opportunities, and he actually is working out of state right now. So the point man's job is to kind of coordinate all of this effort, and given that John is the regional point man, so to speak, and is working for the entire Western United States, it's just there's been a lot of holes that just haven't been filled yet. So most of the
job, huh?
I'm sorry, say again.
I'm sorry. I said not to mention his 9-to-5 job too.
Yeah, right. That's that whole earning a living thing. So most of the efforts, of the troops have been focused in on, supporting their own troops and getting their own troops healthy. I think as the troops start to mature and start to pick up some of the, start to kind of automate a little bit, I think you'll start seeing some of the more seasoned leaders, if you will, start to gravitate towards the area role. But yeah, at this point, there is a number of openings that need to be filled. And just so you know, Nate, we will have this. We got a slideshow going that you're obviously not seeing on the phone. So we will be posting this on the Facebook page that I saw you joined up. we'll be having this will be on a YouTube video, so you can see it next time, so you can get everybody's contact information.
Great, I'll take a look at it. Thanks.
Cool. Okay, announcements. Who wants to sing the song? Anybody? Teresa?
Announcements. I'm going to stop there. Someone else can move on.
That's all good. That's all good.
What a horrible way to die. What a horrible way to die. It's a horrible thing to be talked to death. What a horrible way to die.
Make the announcement short and sweet, short and sweet, short and sweet. Make the announcement short and sweet because they're so boring. All right. Anybody else? All right. Training opportunities for those of you guys who don't know. We do have training that's available for your new leaders coming onto your troops. We have fast start training that's available through the Trail Life University. I don't know if any of you guys have had a chance to go on, but it's through traillifeconnect.com. You log in, and there's some pretty good little videos in there that you can point to your leaders and your troops and get them started and get them feeling to the point where they're ready to take on their first meeting. Basic training is available through your DSA, so if your troops have an interest in taking a basic training class, it would be online at this point. It would be done via GoToMeeting, and you can see right there it's 1 to 4 hours in person, and you just request that through your DSA. If you don't have a DSA, send it on to John Herring. And then equip training. Equip training is the more advanced training. It's a weekend course that's designed to give the program leader the basics of how the program works for the boys. They kind of live a weekend as a boy and do all the things that a boy would be doing on a weekend camp out. So we don't have an equip training scheduled, I think. Has anybody heard anything from Mike Wyant about the possibility of equip training for next year?
No, not yet.
Okay. So again, equip training is for adults. It's for troop masters, rangers, all the program leaders, and it's a good thing. So be on the lookout. If you do see that pop up, you definitely want to get to equip training as much as possible. I think Tom, you were Heavy Hammer Patrol, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We were the Heavy Hammers.
All right, that's right. Nailed it, right? That was your.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
That's right, because we nailed it.
All right, roundtable training, Nate. Just so you're aware, I think everyone else on the phone is or on the call is aware of this. But this roundtable training is available once a month. It happens every second Tuesday of every month at 8:30 p.m. The training schedule at the end of this. So at the end of this meeting, we're going to have a leader-specific training, and that leader-specific training will rotate based on the program area. So tonight is going to be for committee members, and then the next month is going to be specific to navigator and adventure program leaders, so that the trail guides, the trail masters, that type of thing. And then August is going to focus in on the Woodland Trail, so the elementary program leaders, and then that whole cycle will start over again. So as you're contacting, hopefully we get more than 8 people on this call for next month, but definitely be promoting this out to your troops and making sure that your leaders know that this opportunity is available.
Hey,
Okay.
Joshua.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it possible to post those as events in the SoCal Facebook page?
Sure.
Because then I can easily share it with my leaders.
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. With the topics. That'll be somewhere that I can go to if I forget, and I can see, oh, yeah, August is this topic, and then I can share it.
Yep, that won't be a problem.
I want to do a better job of promoting it, but I got to remember. So I think that might be easier.
Okay. Yeah.
For me.
Yep, not a problem.
Hey, Josh, this is Mike. By the way, who currently gets this invitation?
So this goes out to, we have approximately 310 people on our mailing list, for our email mailing list. This goes out to every one of them. A lot of those people, however, are no longer active members of Trail Life. I get about one unsubscribe every email that goes out from people that have moved on or kids are no longer in the program or whatever. But yeah, we have approximately 310 people. And then this goes out to onto the leader Facebook page as well. I'll do just kind of a blurb and throw that up there. However, I'll also be doing this on the events as well. Is there somewhere else I should be promoting this?
Not particularly. It's just that I've had a couple of people, a couple of our registered adults who said, we haven't seen anything on that. So I've tried to get it forwarded out, or tried to get Al Gonzalez to forward it out. I'm going to end up doing it myself, I think, to get it to the right people.
Yeah,
But,
the email list was initially populated by a big leader, a big troop track dump that John Hearing was able to provide for us. But again, a lot of the people had moved on from Trail Life. They weren't, with the program anymore. The only way for me to really get people into that list at this point is to provide them with the sign-up form. There is a sign-up form that you can go to. Let me. I'll see if I can bring that up real fast. But it's basically just a web page you go to, and you self-register for your your information.
Joshua, this is Nate. I have a question.
Yep.
I believe you mentioned the leaders page on Facebook. Is there more than one Facebook page that we should be looking at?
So there is 2 Facebook pages that have been created. One is a Facebook group that is the one that you joined. I think it was you that joined. I approved somebody on the and then the other one is just a public-facing Facebook. It's called a fan page, and the idea with the fan page is just to have because we don't have a website that we're because I think our domain. Teresa, I think you were in charge of that, or you were managing that for a while.
I let it expire because I don't know that anybody visited it.
Yeah. So ultimately, it was for we wanted to limit the group that you joined to only registered parents and leaders, to avoid any type of troll jumping on and defacing the page or whatever.
Right.
However, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. But
No worries.
So any information that I need that's available out there, I could probably get on that group page then, right?
So that group page is pretty good. However, there is one more Facebook group. It's a closed group, and it's the National Facebook forum for leaders nationwide. And if you're interested, what I can do is I can send you. I'll friend request you on Facebook, and then I'll send you that information on how to join that group, because that one is actually. That one's actually trafficked by quite a number of people. There's always somebody on there chit-chatting away. So if you definitely wanted a sounding board on, what do I do here, what do I do there, that would definitely be the place to go. That being said, your initial contact for anything in terms of what you do or questions you might have, it really needs to be John Hearing.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. If you want to send me that link, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So let me, here, I'll do this. Can everyone see my notepad there?
Yeah.
So this URL here, let me make that bigger. That URL there is the mailing list. That's a O and that's a 0. That's not very helpful, but for those of you who do want this, this is how you would get your people on and get them registered with the email mailing list that we send out for various. I almost said the word the ANNOUNCE word, but I'm not going to.
Right.
So that's the one you want. Just make sure you're getting that. So it's http://echo Papa, is it umbrella Romeo Lima Charlie Oscar Mike / Charlie Oscar 05 Delta 9er, I guess.
Niner. It's been a while for you there, Josh. It's uniform, not umbrella.
Uniform. Well, I only use it so often on tech support calls when I'm talking to somebody from India or something, so it doesn't have to happen that often. Okay, so I'll take that off and get back to my, all right. So,
Josh, I just John Herring. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm on now.
oh, hey, John, how's it going? John, we, it looks like you called in on phone as well, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just driving away from church council meeting. I'm my church's evangelism chairman, so I had to go to church council, and now I'm on this meeting. So.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to let you know, Nate is on the call as well. And then we have Jerry, Jim, Martin, Mark Shibata, Mike Hickabotham, and Teresa, and Tom Trimley on the line as well. So,
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Good evening.
okay, so moving on for any other questions about the roundtable schedule. If there's any other places, Teresa, looks like you're asking me if we had a Google email for the. Oh, you know what? We do have a Google. I thought you were asking me something else. We do have a Google email for the area. It's traillifesocal@gmail.com. I guess I can put that one up again. Let's see.
Because with every Google account, we have access to so many resources. I have a Google site for our troop. We use Google Drive. We use Google Photos. It might be worth creating that set of tools for the area, because I was thinking it would be nice to take a look at your spreadsheet with all your contacts. You said there was like 300 and some names, but some are old. I can go through and clear out the ones that I know are no longer current, and that way we can keep a repository of things that are, I would call them evergreen. You can update them, and they're live, and they're always up to date.
Yeah, I have actually been playing around with some of that, because I've been looking at collecting names and contacts for trail badge mentors in the Channel Islands district. So I'm looking for a way to be able to disseminate that information via Google Sites or something like that. But yeah, we do have a Gmail account there, and we've been slowly adding some services. We've got a Dropbox account that's associated with the Gmail account. We use MailChimp. We're using SurveyMonkey. So yeah, we are slowly starting to register them, and they all get registered under that Gmail account. And John's got all the passwords for all of that.
Okay, that might be something worth looking into as a future topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Anything else with regards to roundtables? Hopefully, these are useful to the troops. I'm hoping that for those, we've only got 9 people on the call tonight, but I'm hoping that that this is continuing to be a useful thing for the troops, and that you guys are getting some value out of the conversations.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I enjoy it. I'm learning quite a bit already.
Okay.
I think Josh, I think we need to make it an effort as troop masters. We really need to get our guys on here. I could see a big push for that starting in the fall. We got to just make sure that we get, especially our key leaders like our rangers, our trail masters, people like that for sure on these calls.
Yeah, because I think that the power of a roundtable, in the traditional sense, when you were all sitting around in a big room, the power of that is having, being able to, Tom, you've got a question, and 14 people can chime in with a different answer or a different way to solve the question or the situation you might have. So I think the more people we have, the better for this type of meeting. So.
I'm going to throw one more thing at you just real quick. I don't want to take a bunch of time, but I know with this new Woodlands Trail 2.0 program, I'm receiving a ton of questions from my guys about it. Not a ton, but a few. I know that there'll be a ton later. So maybe the first month of early September or probably would be a good one to hit that Woodlands Trail program pretty hard.
Well,
actually, I suggest we plan that for August, because we should have the curriculum by that point.
Yeah, and you can actually see the last bullet point on this slide. The August meeting is focusing in on the Woodland Trail program leaders, so it's working out by Providence there. So
Awesome.
Oh, great, thanks.
yeah, Mike Hickenbotham will be running that meeting. So all right, moving on. Some upcoming events. So I think it's too late for this first one, Summer Adventure, since it's this next weekend coming up. But I suppose if there's any troops out there that still wanted to go, I suppose they probably they wouldn't refuse you. I wouldn't think. But it's $297 for registration. Includes food and lots of cool stuff like whitewater rafting, zip lining. And my understanding, John, is this is the last summer adventure, national summer adventure, and they're going to really be pushing for regional and area events.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Now, they are talking about a national summer adventure in 2019. That would be part and basically alongside a Trail Life Leader Conference, National Trail Life Leader Conference. They're kind of soliciting for ideas of where this could take place. You know, obviously a lot of pressure for it to go off down in the south. I'm kind of lobbying for Colorado or someplace like that. So that's very much still up in the air as to how big that's going to be, and it'll probably be, I think, kind of like our equivalent of Jamboree, that sort of idea, kind of the thought process.
Like a once every 3 or 4 years or something.
Yeah.
Okay. John, are you still taking signups for the regional roundup, the Mountain Man Rendezvous?
Yep, we still have a few more slots left. We are basically open. We're still accepting a couple more troops. You know, another week or so, and we'll have to basically close it off because we'll need to kind of firm up. We actually, as of yesterday, we had 155 youth committed from 14 different troops. And just technically kind of over my cutoff, but I know we'll have a few drops, so we'll still be okay. But yeah, we'd love to have you come up and participate in the regional roundup up in Washington State.
Awesome. All right. So all the information is there for those of you guys who haven't already committed to doing something else. Let's talk real quick since we've got some of the key players for the area on the call. Southern California Adventure. I hadn't planned on making this roundtable into a Camp Pendleton camp out meeting, but where do we think we're at with this, and where do we want to go forward with this? Teresa, have you heard anything else? I didn't see any other emails come out.
Well, if we're in agreement on the date and the location, which it sounds like we are, I can begin working with my contact on reserving all of the facilities. But the biggest thing is, if we're going to run anything on base, we need what they call a range safety officer. It's not the same thing as an NRA range safety officer. This is somebody who kind of oversees the entire weekend to make sure we're following all of the safety precautions and is aware of all of the safety protocol and procedures for base.
Okay.
Since we're on a military base. So there's an online course that whoever wants to be that person would take. They watch a bunch of videos on YouTube and whatnot, and then they take a test. So that is the first step, in my opinion, that we need to identify ideally at least two people who would be willing to take the course and take the test.
Okay, so this isn't the actual rifle range, archery range, that kind of thing. This is the range being the Camp Pendleton that we're on. They need somebody to make sure that understands the rules and regs for that.
Right, yeah, because at every time we have to be reporting where we are on base, and every time we move, so that person will have walkie-talkies, they'll have numbers. If there's an emergency on base and they need to tell us to evacuate, that's the person they'll call.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to do it if you want to go ahead and send me the information, and then my recommendation is say, hey, we have Josh has agreed to be the RSO, but he needs a backup. Can we get somebody to volunteer to be the backup?
Correct. Okay.
So yeah, just have Gunny send me the information, and I'll take it from there.
Okay. That was the first big next step. So now that we've got that identified, I know Jim Martin's NRA range safety officer, so that'll come in handy for the archery range. I'm assuming he's also certified. Jim, are you certified for archery range?
Yes, I'm level 2 certified archery and NRA certified rifle and shotgun.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Jim, are you level 2 USA Archery with the instructor as well?
I'm just level 2, so I mean, what do you mean with the instructor? I mean, level 2 is basically a basic archery coach.
So you could teach. My understanding was level 2 was able to train level 1 archery instructors, or not instructors, but RSOs basically.
I believe so.
Okay, well that's good to know.
I'd have to look into it. It's been I'm in the process of redoing my certifications on it. So.
Okay.
But I believe I can teach how to set up a range and that sort of thing. Yeah, with a level 2.
Okay. Would you be available to serve as the I don't know if we call it the RSO, but the range safety officer for archery, or for, do we have access to a rifle range as well?
We can. I have to make a call and find out if that weekend's going to be available.
Okay. Well,
We have access to a range, but we would have to provide all our own equipment. There is a range on Camp Pendleton that's already set up, and so ideally we would go through them, pay a little fee. They would provide the RSO and the equipment. So I need to reach out to them and find out the availability for that weekend.
Okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and send that the email out to Gunny. Let's get me started as the Camp Pendleton RSO, and then let's maybe Teresa hit me up via email, and let's see if we can't get some of the other details taken care of.
Okay.
Do you have an estimated number of people that are coming that would be coming from your troop, Teresa?
I don't know. I have about 15 navigators and adventurers. I'm pretty sure they'd all be interested if they're available.
Okay. Jim, what about you?
I would have about 4, I think.
Okay. And Tom, you said yours are all out at Hume Lake.
Yeah, we'll have probably. I know Adams wants to go, so I don't know how many people that we would have attend, but we could possibly have 5, 6, 8, something like that. Not very many, but a few, I would imagine.
5, 6, 8, and that includes adults?
Yeah, I'd say maybe 10 if you want to include adults, maybe something like that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see if we can't finish this up with on email and get this communicated out to the area. Okay. Another event that's coming up. Some of you guys may have seen this email that is coming up, but we did announce the Channel Islands District is going to be holding their patrol rally next year, April 27th through the 29th. We are endeavoring to keep it at the Four Stone Camp Center again next year. The cost is to be determined. However, we're going to try to keep it as close to last year's rate as we can, and last year's rate was $25 a person for the weekend rate. However, if they were just coming for the day rate, it was $18 a person. It was a blast. This event, we had lashings and chariot races and archery and knot tying and first aid, and you see the list there. We had a climbing wall and zip line. All the feedback we got from this event was that it was a blast and everybody wanted to do it again. So we're going to do it again. The event is only going to be open to mountain lion, navigator, and adventure youth trailmen and their adult leaders. So if you're interested and you think your troop is going to want to go, we would appreciate you pre-registering your troop. And we do have a theme as well. We're a little theme contest on there as well. So we would appreciate if you guys would vote for your favorite theme by going to that SurveyMonkey link down below. So it's https://www.surveymonkey.com/Romeo/ I think it's case, I don't know if it's case sensor or not, but a capital Bravo 5, capital Victor, capital X-ray 5, capital, is it Joliet? Is that the,
Yes.
yeah, I got it right. Capital Joliet, and then 6. So we're looking forward. We'd love to have more troops show up. We had it was really a lot of fun. Mike, chime in if you thought it was as much fun as I did, but we had a blast doing it.
I'll tell you what, for you and I, it was certainly one where you could feel the Holy Spirit there trying to make it happen. We're good. But not because of you and me.
So yeah, looking forward to it. We'd love to have 4673, the Hermosa Beach, as well as the Huntington Beach if they wanted to, as well as we'd love Teresa for 3723 to be up there. But like I said, if we could, we're gonna possibly have to move some people around and play with some of the space at the camp. So we'd love for you to pre-register your troops so we kind of have an idea of how many trailmen we're looking at, and what kind of space requirements we're going to need.
Joshua, is this cabin camping or tent camping?
No, tent camping. Tent camping at all. We don't do cabin camping up at Channel Islands. I don't know what you guys are doing out in San Diego, but we don't do tent camping.
Forest Home has got cabins. So I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, we find an open field and we mark it off with the specific to the troop. So that we stayed away from the cabins that were up there in Forest Home.
Although we did have one group, one tent that got completely drenched. It's the only time it's rained up here all year.
Yeah, there was.
They learned about not pitching your tent in a hole.
It was 6/11. It was Riverside troop. That tent turned into Lake Riverside almost in about a 30-minute period. So
they really wanted to use the cabin then. They should have, but
yeah. Any
So
questions?
Josh,
Go ahead.
we discussed this at our leadership meeting on Thursday night, and it sounded like it was a hit. So I think that we're in, and I'll go ahead and I'll defer to Mark on that. Mark was there. I think we'll go ahead and sign up for that. Is that
Awesome.
correct, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. We created the mega gateway and the whole 9 yards. So just make sure you bring your A game, because the troops in Channel Islands are competing for real up here.
Okay.
Won't have to worry about us.
No competition here, right?
Okay. Any further questions on the patrol rally? Okay, moving on. I do have a proposed event that I'd like to propose to everybody. My focus, my son is a navigator, and I'm helping out in my troop with the navigators. So many times I look back and I find myself thinking, man, I'm really neglecting my Woodland Trail unit and pushing off. So I'd like to come up with some sort of event for our Woodland Trails. It would be a Woodland Trail event only. I don't have any details. I was thinking possibly the fall of 2017 so that we can make it some sort of recruitment event. So you recruit people in and we immediately get them right into some sort of weekend camp out. If you're interested in doing this, I would need some help with this. I'm running a little short on bandwidth here. But if you would be interested in doing this, I think this would be a good event. If you're interested in helping out, we'll put together a little impromptu committee and try to organize one of this. But just shoot me an email at my email address there, JoshuaMichaelSanders@gmail.com. Okay, and then the last proposed event that I just decided, I was just creating slides like a madman, and I just thought I'd make another one, is Equip Youth. So for those of you guys who have been to the adult version of Equip, John Herring foolishly gave me the Equip Youth curriculum, and I've decided that I'd like to use it as much as I can. For those of you guys who don't know, the course is designed to train navigator adventure leaders, or basically any navigator adventurer interested in pursuing leadership. But again, if I can put this on and I can do this at a troop level, but I'm a small troop. So I would like to be able, I think it would be more dynamic and the boys would get more out of it if there were more boys, to bounce ideas and games and competitions off of. So if your troop's interested and you would like to help me organize this, again, it would only be for, it wouldn't be for your full troop necessarily. You'd really be wanting to focus this as a leadership weekend. But if you think you'd be interested in that, give me a call or shoot me an email there, my email address, and let me know, because I think I think if we could get this going and we could start getting the boys equipped youth trained, then the following year we could take those boys who were equipped youth trained, and then we could put them into the staff positions so that they were actually running the next year's equipped youth, and we could start to propagate the system. So if we get this started, we kind of jump started. I think it would be a good idea. So.
Okay, can I put in a shameless plug for Equip Youth?
Yeah, by all means.
So Equip Youth is really, it's really a good time for the guys, okay? We wrote it to be a fun activity. We didn't write it to be basically sitting around for lectures. It's really designed to be a series of games, 6 games, and then a reflection period after each one of these games where they play something. And then what you do is you stop them and they basically say, my gosh, I just learned something out of that. So that's the whole idea. It's got biblical principles all the way through it, but what we're trying to do is teach them techniques that will help them be better troop leaders. And so that's the whole goal behind it. It's fairly simple. They don't need to come with a whole lot of preparation. They don't need to bring a lot of whole camping skills. What they really need to have is a heart and a desire to be a better leader. So we ran one as part of our local regional training event here this last spring. We had 22 kids come out, and it was really great. So navigators, primarily adventurers, and a few navigators. So, and we also had some AHG girls participate because they don't have anything like this. So, but Equip Youth.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, if you're interested, I would need some help with some of the teachings and some of the organizations. So if you're interested, shoot me an email. So all right, Point Man update. John, your first slide is current trail life troops. Has anything changed?
Nothing particularly. We haven't gotten any new troops. We're really starting to organize. We do have a couple troops that are, one troop particularly that's actually changing charters, but I think we're actually, I think they're doing okay there. I think they've got at least a target. We have had some interest from some churches up in the Central Valley, but no actual action. It's one of those things where, we don't want a church just to go out and start doing this and then decide later on, oh, that was probably the wrong thing. We really want them to desire to do this. So we've also had some interest from a Catholic church in the Escondido area. And they're particularly, I think they've actually pre-chartered at this point. They're pushing forward and really interested in getting going on that. So I think, Teresa, you've talked to them, I think, haven't you? Didn't that guy come and talk to your church? Or kind of Gary? Did he come see your meeting?
I don't believe so.
Okay. He was talking. He was going to. So whether or not he did or not. So making progress. It's slow but sure, guys, but we're making progress.
What's the status on the Twin Peaks troop?
They have not advanced past pre-charter. So, and we have a few of those. Where, we have a number of those where, they have to decide they want to move forward on it. So we had a lot of interest from Highland, from the church up in Highland. That was a sister church of Mike Wyatt's church, but they haven't actually pulled the trigger on it either. So
have we made any contacts with the pre-charter troops? Is that something that Teresa could give a call to see, just to kind of even nudge them?
That would actually help us. That would actually help me a lot if we could start doing that. So Teresa, I'll send you the current pre-charters if you don't mind making a phone call or two. That would help me a lot.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I think you've all seen this map, but this is the layout of the districts. And actually, I don't think anything's changed because none of the troops have changed. But yep, it's a pretty map. Thanks, John.
I try to do good artwork.
Okay, so we talked about help needed. We do still need a permanent point man. The point man should not be an existing troop master, but you know, the point man's job is more of the. I mean, it's the chief operating officer of the area. His job is to provide the support necessary for the individual troops. So it's an important position. John, you know, number one, I'd just like to say you're doing a great job. I know you're tired and you've got a lot on your plate, but I just wanted to quickly say I appreciate the work that you are doing for our area and our boys. I am, just to let you know, I know I'm looking around and I'm hoping everyone else is, and you know, I'm asking around and trying to get someone to fill that hole.
Yeah. I do have one thing I didn't get into the agenda here, but I think it's worth talking about. I mentioned the 2019, they want to do a national convention. In 2018, Trail Life would like to repeat the Trail Ready Leadership Conference, kind of like the one we held out at Magnolia Church, okay? But, I mean, the idea that was advanced, they want to have one per region. The reality is that's not real. That's not very realistic. And so I've been kind of kicking it around to the other point men. We would like to see each area put on their own mini TRLC. Okay, it may only be a one-day event, but the idea of basically allowing the troop leaders to get together and share best practices and ideas. And you know, I know there's a lot of interest on the part of Mark Hancock to fly out for a lot of these things, but it also drives up the expense. So, looking for a church to basically host the TRLC in 2018 down in Southern Cal. So if you have a church that would be interested in hosting this for a one-day, all-day Saturday extravaganza, and you know, this is actually kind of sweeten the deal. One of the things that I've done is we actually had the church youth group do the lunch when I've done previous TRLC sort of events. And that's a fundraiser. It's a great fundraiser for the church youth group. They can do submarine sandwiches that cost them $2, collect $10, and put it all towards mission trips. So looking for a volunteer for 2018.
Youth group? I'd have my troop do it.
Yeah, you can do that too. That certainly would be an okay thing to do too.
Okay.
I have one question to ask on that. Is it going to be on Mother's Day again?
I didn't pick that, so don't blame that one on me, okay? That wasn't my call. As I got home at dark 30 so I could be there for my wife for Mother's Day, yeah.
Next year it's going to be on Christmas, so you're good on there. Okay, moving on. We do need some additional DSAs that we talked about in the opening slide. We have troops that are needing assistance. So if you're available, just again make a call, reach out to some of your fellow troops, and to see if there's anything they can do that you can assist with. We definitely need the help. And then again, we're looking for an area chaplain. We're looking for the membership chairman, and again a training chairman to be able to organize all of these the training opportunities that we're talking about, and quite honestly, to put me in check as the roundtable wrangler and tell me to shut up when I need to stop talking. So, okay,
would that be the roundtable wrangler? Is that what that'd be?
That's exactly what it would be. Absolutely, yeah. All right, that's it for the roundtable portion of this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Jerry and make him the presenter. Okay, Jerry, you're the presenter. Go ahead and share your screen and take it away.
Great. I'm going to tell a story. And, whoops. And the story goes like this. We're going to talk a little bit about, my favorite subject is tent making, cultivating adult leaders, and engendering discipleship over volunteerism. The story goes like this. Sherlock Holmes and Watson were out camping. And it was evening time, and Watson said to Sherlock, "Holmes, look up into the sky. Look at Jupiter and the moon and the Pleiades and Cassiopeia. What do you think, Holmes?" And Holmes says, my good man Watson, you know what this means? No, Holmes, what does it mean? Someone has stolen our tent. And there are 2 tents I'd like to discuss with every Trail Life unit, which hasn't changed much since the Boy Scout days. And the first tent is the place we reside and the place that we use as a meeting facility. And the second tent is our adult leadership. Our first tent provides us our shelter, preservation of our lives from the elements and the wilderness. That's what tents do. Cold, wind, rain. This weekend I was out with Teresa's unit. We could have used some protection from critters and mosquitoes. And that's a good thing. I didn't have a tent. I was sleeping in a shell. In the moral world, our tent is the shelter of God in our lives. In the Old Testament, God resided in a tent in Shiloh. God's tent was the center of faith, his loving embrace of the Hebrew people. Likewise, our first tent is the church sponsor. The church sponsor is the Trail Life Center and field for us to cultivate and harvest in a fertile moral field, growing virtue among youth and adult. Our second tent is our adult committee, adult leadership. My favorite subject is adult committees. I probably told you last time I did this committee thing, I had a unit many years ago where the scout leader only had 10 boys. And the reason he had 10 boys is because his van could only take 10 youth. And he never grew beyond that, besides being the leader. Never had a real committee, just something in paper. So the Trail Life, our responsibility is to love God with our whole heart, our whole mind, and our whole soul, and our neighbor as ourselves. So as God told Jeremiah before he was born, he knew him in the womb. But, you know, we're not God, and I do not personally have the ability that Jesus did by looking into a man's soul eye to eye and see a mirror image of himself and then say, oh, come follow me. So how do we get to know our neighbor in order to love them and cultivate virtue among them, ultimately to be disciples, not volunteers, but disciples of Jesus Christ? You know, I've never been interested in filling a room of youth and adults for camping, hiking, and earning merit badges or trail life badges. I know the youth are doing that and the adults are enjoying that as well. But like St. Paul, I have motivation to make tents with those activities that have a purpose to develop youth to be physically and mentally fit, mature, genuine, virtuous men and women filled with the love of Jesus and their neighbor. So let's go into detail. Our first tent is the adults that we recruit. How do we find them? Now, last time I talked was like, 2-3 months ago, we talked about the talent survey. So we need to change our mindset. We're not looking for volunteers. We're looking for mature disciples. Well, what's the difference? Disciples have an extra amount of grace and love to match times of burnout. Matter of fact, disciples don't have burnout. St. Paul shares with his experience of receiving lashes and shipwrecks and robbers and beatings, and he just didn't burn out because he was a disciple. So what we need to do is match talents with the program, and we talked about that a few months ago about the talent survey. Let me go pop this up because I have some notes here to share. And Joshua showed me how to do this. Yeah, so we have the Troop Resource Survey, and we talked about that. I'm sure you all have a copy, or you made a copy, okay? You've all seen this before, right?
Yes, and just for everybody, all of these documents that Jerry is showing will make available to the area.
How many units right now have a complete survey of all their adults? I don't see any hands. Unless you're God and you're like Jeremiah, you can know them before the womb. How are you going to know how to match their talents if you don't know anything. You need reconnaissance information. I'm kind of blunt about this subject. On the back of this talent survey, I would recommend that you put the trail badge topics. I listed some of them, but online, I think I saw on the was it Troop Tracks? There's a PDF of all the trail life badges. Now, why do you want to do that? You have the adults that come into your meeting or register, circle those activities that they have an interest. Now, I personally am not an astronomer, but I've been teaching Astronomy Merit Badge for 35 years because I like astronomy. So if you have an interest, that's a good idea. And what you want to do in order to recruit adults is to give them a success experience. And the way to begin with a success experience is if they have experience in camping or cycling, they would guide the youth and be an advisor and lead. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you don't have to be a registered adult to be a trail badge advisor, do you, or not?
You do not. However, there are some youth protection stipulations that you got to have. Ultimately, you have to have registered leaders at the trail badge, mentoring going on.
Right, because then you put your hands out a wide experience to recruit as many adults, even adults that may not have youth in the unit. This is very critical to be taking the talent survey. As a matter of fact, if I was in charge of national, I would just make it a requirement. Youth protection, and you will fill out a survey, period. Jesus was very good in matching talents. What did he do? He matched the talents of his disciples. What were they? What did his disciples do for a living? They were fishermen. Yeah.
Fisherman, tax collector.
Tax collector.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So what does he tell them? You guys have been out there fishing, and you have a lot of experience in fishing. So guess what? I'm going to teach you how to be fishers of men. And he figured that would work, putting their talents with the first evangelization project. I was on this backpack trip up in Temecula. I saw Jim Martin up there. It was really nice to meet him. And I got to talking to Dennis, who is one of the adult leaders. This guy is a guy that hung around with Navy SEALs. He knows knots, he knows math, he knows weather, engines and sailboats, fiberglass repair. Tremendous experience that could be used as an advisor to share his skills with the youth and the other adults there. Then another father I met, he was his background is computer science. Looks like to me we have a webmaster there. His son does video games. That would be wonderful. Another thing too, we always take the talent survey of the fathers. How about the wives? I have a woman across the street. She's an expert birder, has binoculars, and that's her hobby. And so I'm just going to highly recommend that not only do we do a talent survey, but on the back we fill out the Trail Life Badge counselors and take that reconnaissance. If you're not doing this, you're really not going to support your tent. And your tent is to cultivate adults to be on your committee and run the show and take chances. Let them do that. The other important thing about having other adults besides the immediate troop leaders is that I came across a wonderful book. It just came out about a month ago. I don't know if you guys can see that. Wait a minute, here we go. Ben Sass. He talks about the vanishing American adult. You can get on Amazon.com. I got the CDs because I don't have time to read, so I put it in my car. And he says one of the things that we're discovering in America right now is the vanishing experience of the extended family. We don't have grandmom and grandpa and aunts and uncles living in the household. They're in the convalescent home or somewhere else. One of the adults on the backpack trip, we were walking down the path, and he asked me a question. Why are you involved with Trail Life? You don't have a youth in the unit. And I said, well, there's two reasons. One is I love Jesus. And secondly, he told me to love my neighbor. And I don't know, I have a lot of experience with youth since 1965 in the scouting program, and I thought I'd share my skills with young people and other adults. As a matter of fact, I'd be quite candid with you. The adults on that backpack trip could have been my scouts in the 70s. So shows you how old I am. Nevertheless, as Ben Sass says, the unintended consequence is that our youth, by not having experience with senior citizens or extended family, they're learning they're getting their experience from their peer group. And you can't learn much from your peer group as much as you can from people with wisdom and being godly men and women. Now they talk about the second tent. The second tent is the church property. Who is the church? Do we know I'm going to ask some questions. Do each of you unit leaders, do you know the names of your pastors and how the ministry administration works?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, most definitely for Troop 4673, definitely.
Good. When are their anniversaries, like their ordination date? When's their birthday? What's your pastor's
Have that on my
hobby?
calendar.
What's your pastor's hobbies? And what is his interest or her interest besides church ministry? Oh, by the way, what's the name of their pets at home? What theology school did they attend? What is their spouse's name and children, if any? And when's their birthdays? Do they have a church calendar? Is your Trail Life troop calendar parallel and match the church calendar? Is the Trail Life troop calendar integrated into the church calendar? Does the church leadership, vestry, parish council, elders group integrate the Trail Life unit program and activity into the overall church ministry and calendar? What is the position description and writing of the troop in relation to the mission of the church sponsor? What is the mission of the church? Is the pastor and his or her designates to the troop helping with highlighting church mission, discipleship, prayer and worship services, counseling, and religious awards? Is there a Trail Life Discipleship Sunday or a Trail Life, I would call it a Trail Life-orama? I would like to recommend that the unit has at least once a quarter conducted between the church services a Trail Life Discipleship Sunday, where the unit youth and adult leaders have a tabletop display of Trail Life activities, sample troop projects, photos of service time rendered, like the time we did the retiring of the flag in Camp Pendleton, brochures of Trail Life mission, conduct prayer requests. Here we go. I think I have that. Here we go. You know, maybe we can't do everything at the unit, but we can be prayer warriors. So once a quarter, we take prayer requests, or, you know, you could talk to the pastor and say, why don't you put these in the pews, and our Trail Life youth will pray for members of your parish or your church. I have here a note here. The 3 Christian notable duties are prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And there's all the biblical passages. So why can't we be prayer warriors? Many years ago, I camped with my troop at Camp Cherry Valley at the Boy Scout camp in Catalina Island. We couldn't do knots. We couldn't do compass work. I just took over the unit. We didn't know anything. But I told them, you know, we could do a lot of praying, guys. So what we did is we attended every church service that the camp had to offer. We went to the non-denominational. We went to Shabbat services. We went to the Catholic services. And we went to every service, and we got an award for being the most reverent unit they've ever met. So we could be prayer warriors and being seen as an arm of the church in praying for the needs of that church. Also, during the Trail Life-A-Rama, you know, the pastor, he probably hasn't taken a survey of his church. Why not Trail Life? We'd be glad to do that for you, Pastor. Let's find out what you got, because we're here to cultivate disciples. We're developing disciples in the unit. Here is a Christian community talent survey. Jesus teaches us in the parable of talents that we are given talents according to our abilities. And although talents in the story and the parable are money, money represents our work. In like manner, the best gift we can give back to God is the gift he gave us, our free will to do his service for him and our neighbor with those talents. And your parish family would like to match your particular talents to the work of the Lord by completing this brief survey. Wow, what a tremendous thing you could do for that pastor, or at least encourage him to take his own survey. And while we're there, let's find out if there's any youth that are not members of our Trail Life organization. Do they have any youth under the age of 19? Matter of fact, on the back of this, I would put the Trail Life badges. Gee, do you have any experience in your church to do plumbing and fiberglass and astronomy and sailing and knot tying and backpacking and hiking and and computer science and whatever else? We can have other people besides people that have youth. They can be our extended family and welcome them. They could be our advisory on our committee. And then we can encourage them to register eventually. The last thing I'd like to share with all of you is new visitors. New visitors that come to you, that visit you. What kind of programs do you have in place for visitors that visit with you? How do you know, how do you gather information right now? I have a few ideas, but I want to hear from the rest.
Well, for me, I mean, the visitors that come to our troop are so sparse. They stand right out, so we're able to kind of make a beeline to them, see where they're at, plug them into the boys. If they're an older boy, we plug them right into our patrol leaders, and then make ourselves available to answer any questions that the parents might have. Good. And then how do you follow up? Yeah, we have a spreadsheet that's shared with all our committee members, and that spreadsheet kind of has a column in it that says who was the last person to talk to this person and what was the date they last talked to that person, so that we know if the contact is getting stale, or we can go and sort the list by date. Yeah, I didn't write this, but I'm going to insert another idea into that to enhance your the ability to kind of make sure that they kind of show up again and come visit you again. Does every unit leader have a troop calendar planned out for the next 6 months to 12 months? We do, up in Camarillo. Okay. And if I were to walk into your unit with my son or daughter or whatever, would you be able to share that calendar with me? Yeah, I would. We have packets that are pre-set up for both Woodland Trail boys as well as Navigator Adventure boys. In the packet has not only the calendar, but the specific handbook that we have for the 2 levels of boys, and a bunch of other information. I'll tell you a story. This is a personal experience. Back in 1982, I was to take over a troop that only had 2 boys in it, because the scoutmaster put gasoline on a fire and burned himself. And so I was the commissioner at the time, and the district commissioner asked me, could you take over the unit? And I said, well, how many boys we got? We got 2 boys. Oh, wow. How many parents? We got 3 parents. Okay. So I went around to the schools and recruited a whole bunch of young people, and adults came for that first night. All there was me and the 2 boys. The first thing I did was I put in the hands of all the adults that showed up the troop calendar. Now, we kind of made up the calendar. We had horseback riding, backpacking, hiking, kayaking, canoeing, San Jacinto, San Gorgonio, Cuyamaca, all the fun stuff we're doing. And I said, here, would you do me a favor, parents and the youth that attended, would you circle the events that you think you might be interested in?
And of course, the young men were circling horseback riding and sailing and backpacking and canoeing and all that stuff. So based on their circle, what I did was, and we had a fun meeting. We did a lot of head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and who knows what else. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I called back and I said, is this Mr. Jones or whatever at the time? And he said, yeah. And I said, I noticed here that you guys are really interested in canoeing. Yeah, I am. Well, I look forward to having you join us on our canoe trip. It's going to be in June 16th or June 17th. Would you be interested in doing that? Oh, absolutely. My son's all hot about canoeing. We ended up recruiting about 17 youth to join the unit based on the vision where the troop is going. Now, I know that people don't join for character development, citizenship training, physical and mental fitness, but they do join up for horseback riding, canoeing, sailing, scuba diving, rifle, shotgun, et cetera, and then through the back door we teach them the other part. But I would also, if you can, as soon as possible, take a talent survey of new visitors that come and visit you, because you can help them with their they can help you with their advice and their experience. I think that pretty well covers what I wanted to share with the whole group. I tried to keep it down to, what, 25 minutes? Were there any questions?
Jerry, this is Nate. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that, man. It was good. Thank you.
Are you all unit leaders, or are there any committee members here?
This is Mark. I'm the committee chair for 4673.
Okay. Did you learn anything from what I shared with you that you might be able to use?
Yeah, even from the last time you spoke, we're going to plan on doing the survey this coming next year, this coming year. We'll put that out, try to get some of these adults plugged in.
Okay, that's cool. How are you going to approach them?
We'll just be part of the one of the forms they'll have to fill out beginning of the year.
What about the ones that have been with you for a while? Do you have a good handle on all their talents and hobbies?
The ones that are involved, yes, we're pretty good there. We have problems with adults coming late. The kids come late, so we're often rolling and they drop in, so they're falling through the cracks right now.
Yeah. Well, I think the mindset has to change from looking for volunteers. What you're looking for is disciples. I was looking at Rob Green's Steps for Recruiting Adults. Have you guys all looked at that?
Yeah, it's a good program. It's a good one.
Guess what? It never worked for me.
No.
I mean, that's an old Boy Scout. He's a professional scouter. We talked a little bit. I was a professional scouter for 5 years. He was for 20 years. We got to talking about it. I said, well, you're a better guy than I am. This never worked. So especially right here where it says here, number 3, brainstorm qualified people for that specific role. How can you brainstorm qualified people if you don't know what their background is? Now, once I take a talent survey, and I've been with them for a little bit, then I can brainstorm and say, and I look through my survey and say, oh God, there's a guy that can do plumbing, and there's a guy to do carpentry, or there's a guy like the computer science guy. There's our new webmaster. You can't do number 3 if you don't have a talent survey. I don't know how you can do it. I was never able to do that. And then over here, let's see, committee positions. I'm going to ask an embarrassing question. I like talking, I love committees. Are all these spots filled on your unit? Committee chair, advancement chair, outdoor, secretary, treasurer, summer camp coordinator, membership chair, health and safety coordinator, training chair, fundraiser, troop chaplain, equipment coordinator, webmaster. Wow, look at all these folks. Right here where it says trail badge counselors, that's where you can fill all this other area. Because once you know their talents, then you could match you could find out that maybe the guy was a youth chaplain at one time or whatever, has propensity for that. Equipment coordinator. That would be a person with attention to detail. It's awful quiet on the other side. I like to be in a room. It's very difficult to go to meeting for me. Anybody have all these positions filled at their unit level?
Heck no.
No, I don't. However, I did just recruit a new outdoor activities chair for our troop. I was pretty darn excited about that one.
Now, how did you find this person, Josh?
So she brought in her two boys, and we let all our parents know when they're registering their children that there's an expectation that not only is there a monetary responsibility in terms of dues, but there is a time responsibility that we expect of everyone. And then we do have a survey that we have online that we provide to all our people. And the survey is very generic. It says, I like to do these types of things, and I like to do that type of thing. It doesn't ever say, I'd like to be this position. But
right,
but then we look at it from the back end, and we say, okay, this person would fit this role or that role. And then, and then we approached her and asked her if she would do it. Now, we let everyone also know that our interest is not to fill a hole. Our interest is to find the gifts and talents that God has already given you, and to redirect those gifts to the furtherance of His kingdom and the discipling of the boys that He's placed under our command. So, she jumped on and said she was willing to do it. So I was pretty darn excited. It means I don't have to RSVP anymore for campsites.
Well, that's perfect. That sounds like a really good success formula. Yeah, it could be anything. The key, though, is to find out, to get reconnaissance information about adults that visit with you or that are registered with you, and then to match those talents with the needs that you have. The advisors, the trail badge advisors, though, is sort of like a way of getting their toe in there. People like to join success. They don't want to join failure. And the best thing is if they could share. Like I asked Dennis on the backpack trip, he has this experience of sailing. I says, do you think that maybe one of our meetings you could teach all the boys how to use a sextant? He said, I'd be absolutely thrilled to do that. Yeah, I could do that program and some other skill sets. I said, we do any experience with fiberglass repair? He said, yeah, I've done some of that. And how about engine repair on the boat? He says, absolutely, I can do that. And he's engrossed now because he's putting his talents with a success formula that, I could do something positive on the unit. And then later on, after he does a couple of sessions or whatever, and we plug him into the program, we could ask him, do you think possibly with your experience, now I know he's leaving in the fall, but this would be the track. Do you think you could fill in like this particular area or that area that we need on the troop committee? And he's already had a couple of success experiences without me going out there, like Rob Green says, who's the best guy that can open the door? Well, the door's already open because he's already doing show and tell with the unit, and he's already getting accustomed to the idea of sharing his talents.
All right.
So that's all I have for today. And I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my love for Jesus and committees and churches.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jerry. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, so that pretty much concludes the, let's see, that concludes the meeting. Does anybody have any further questions or follow-up that we need to go over before we end it? Okay, can I get a volunteer to pray us out, please? Somebody just leave? I mentioned praying and we scared them off. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Everyone bow your heads, please. Lord, we give thanks for this time together. We give thanks for the boys that you have placed under our care, for the discipleship that you've asked us to guide, Lord, through your Holy Spirit. We just pray that our hands would be gentle. We pray that our words would be wise and uplifting, and that ultimately, Lord, that you would use us and that you would give us the honor of being used by you to further your kingdom. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys, we will see you next week for Navigators and Adventures program specific. Good night, everyone, and thank you so much for joining.
God bless.
Thanks, Josh.
God
Bye,
bless.
man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nate, you still on? Okay. Anyone else left?